Jennie Ruby debuts at number 2 on this week's Circle album chart with 595,000 copies sold. It's the number 1 best-selling album of 2025 by a female soloist. Alter Ego by Lisa is the first album by an Asian-born female soloist, K-pop soloist, and Southeast Asian-born act to have 5 entries on the Billboard Canadian Hot 100. Lisa is the Asian-born female soloist, K-pop soloist, and Southeast Asian-born act with the most entries on the Billboard Canadian Hot 100. She has now charted 8 songs in Canada, surpassing Jungkook. Albums by K-pop soloist with the most entries on the Billboard Canadian Hot 100. Lisa Alter Ego with 5 entries, Jungkook's Golden with 3 entries, Rosé Rosie and Jennie Ruby with 3 entries. Rosé and Bruno Mars have won the Song of the Year by Streaming Award for APT at this year's Japan's Golden Disc Awards. Jisoo's Hugs and Kisses has reached 10 million streams on Spotify, making it the third track from Amortage to achieve this feat. In just 5 days, Ruby becomes the biggest weekly debut for a K-pop act this year on Spotify and the second album by a female K-pop soloist to amass over 100 million single-week streams on the platform. And she joins Lady Gaga's Mayhem and Tate McRae's So Close to What as the only female albums released in 2025 to earn over 100 million single-week streams on Spotify. Lisa has now surpassed 3.6 billion streams on Spotify across all credits, while her album Alter Ego debuts at number 3 on Spain's albums chart, marking the highest charting album by a K-pop soloist in history and the second on Austria's album chart. It tied as the highest charting album by a K-pop soloist in history. Jennie and Lisa both surpassed 3.6 million streams on Spotify, making them tied for first female K-pop soloist to do so. According to Hype Auditor, Rosé is currently the most influential K-pop female artist in the US in the Instagram music category. Jisoo's Hug and Kisses is number 1 on Colombia iTunes. All songs from Amortage have now reached number 1 in the Colombia. Rosé has surpassed 4 billion streams on YouTube Music across all credits, becoming the fastest female Korean soloist in history to reach this milestone. Jennie has surpassed 45 million monthly listeners on Spotify for the first time ever. She reaches a new all-time peak of 45 million, currently the 66th artist in the world. Lisa said that there will be a live band and she will perform all songs of Alter Ego at Coachella. Jennie's Like Jennie has reached a new peak of 12 on the global Apple Music chart. It becomes the highest peaking solo song by a female K-pop soloist, surpassing her own Mantra. Jennie's Ruby has now surpassed 600,000 copies sold on Hantio, becoming the first 2025 album by a female soloist to do so. Rosé has now surpassed 3 billion streams across all credits on Spotify, becoming the fastest female Korean soloist to do so, while her album Rosé charted at 41 on this week's Billboard 200, marking the first album by a K-pop soloist and female K-pop act to spend 13 weeks inside the top 50. Rosé and Bruno Mars APT has surpassed 2.9 million unique listeners on Melon, and the song has been certified platinum in Austria for selling over 30,000 units, making it the fastest song by a K-pop act in history to achieve this. Alter Ego by Lisa of Thailand becomes the first album by an Asian-born act to reach number 1 on Spain's ProMusicae vinyl chart in history. Highest peaking albums by Asian-born soloist on Spain's ProMusicae albums chart in history. Jimin's Muse at number 8, Jungkook's Golden on number 8, Auguste D-Day on number 6, Lisa Alter Ego on number 3. Alter Ego by Lisa of Thailand is now the highest peaking album by an Asian-born singer, K-pop soloist, K-pop female act, and Southeast Asian-born singer on Austria albums chart in history.